Whittling. Bluetooth webcam. Oh. Some auto. How's that? Is that better? What do you mean we can't hear you? Are you? Is it just you, or do you have like all your friends that were watching the stream tonight also? Who's we? Anyway, what we're talking about tonight is forecasting. Okay, and we're going to try to look at forecasting in two different ways. We're going to look at it in Python and R first. Our initial forecast is made using AutoArima. Oh shoot! Flow 3 not found. Yes, it's good. Okay, so are you there by yourself? Because you said we can't hear you. Who else is there with you? Oh, so let's take a look at some initial plots here. Let's take a look at imports. Okay, so this is the number of rows by year. Each row is basically a transaction. It's either an import or an export. Okay, so this is the total number of transactions, both imports and exports. Okay, and this is the number of exports by year. All right. Now let's stack those two. So now we got all the count of import and exports, the row count, which we should call it. And you can see there's also re-import and re-export. What I should do is, okay, it's never too soon to fire off, to start asking questions of ChatGPT. That's our model, okay? Okay. Okay, good. Good. See, to me, I'm sorry, an export's an export and an import's is an import. So I want to change re-export, okay, to just export. So what do you think about this? You think this will work? This, of course, falls under the category of. So did you get any coding done today? All right, it's never too soon to. No, actually, let's put this down here for right now. Because I don't want to have to go back through and, because at some point I have to go back, update the database down here, okay? We're still connected, so you know what? If we still got the connection, we may still be able to do this update also. Yeah, so this is sort of a quick way to change factors. Okay, change factors. So this is the new name and this is the old name basically. This is the same format as the rename function for columns. So we're changing re-export to export. And re-import, it would make more sense to go to say re-export to export, but for whatever reason you do it this way, okay? So we're going to re-update my database. What I did, I also have this data in an SQLite database. And one thing about SQLite is it doesn't actually have any set column structures. You can put any data you want to in any column. So if you want to write a data update, you got to change the date to a character field and then change it back when you're done. So is there someone else there with you? Because you said we can't hear you. Of course, you know, be sure to click that the like button for me and the bell icon so you notify whenever I go live. Nonetheless, I do appreciate you taking time off in your day or evening. Our initial analysis, the data it comes from a thing called commodity trade. It's basically it's just some trade data with one row for each year, for each country, for each product, and for each flow, which is so you have for each product you have two rows, one for imports and one for export. And of course, you have for each country, for each product, you have two rows, import and exports. Now, originally it was the 4 parts, but I'm changing it to 2. So, all right, we do some initial, of course, EDA on some data vises on that, just to get a feel for the data, and then we're going to the first model we're going to run again is an auto. We're going to use the auto-arima function from forecast. Then we're going to use the Fable package to do some ETS modeling and maybe a couple other things. Now you see a quantity field there, but a quantity. I believe that's not the actual quantity in the order, but it's the quantity in which it's shipped. Okay, so you have 12 to box. So each order is 12 to the box for 12 items to a box. So it's not that the person ordered 12 boxes. It's just that it's not that they ordered 12 items. They ordered 12 boxes. In other words, okay. So we can't really use that. We're mainly interested in the date column, the flow, and the trade in U.S. dollars, okay? Okay, good. So let's just go over here. This will let you see what the database is actually like. I mean, there's nothing really tricky about it. The advantage to SQLite, of course, is it uses a single database file. It's very small and fast. It's not intended to be a server in the normal sense of the words. That's interesting. Didn't we change the name of that? Interesting. So let's run this again. Because we supposedly, this is the same database up here, commodity trade, right? I think it is anyway. No, no wonder, that's the wrong one. Oh, here we go. Now this one's correct. There we go. Okay, so I was like, what the devil's going on here? So anyway, there's our date, but the date isn't really a date. Let's just take a look at something here. You see, the date, everything, well, some things are numbers. They don't have, you can actually put anything you want. The actual column type isn't enforced in SQLite, okay? So yeah, it says date, but you can put anything you want to in there. Same way with the date up here. So just, these type of labels are actually sort of a convenience. I was trying to figure out what in the world's going wrong with this stuff. You know, it's like, this just doesn't make any sense. So this one did work then. Date is date. Comment those out then. So we come back over here again now. Now we could, of course, change this to a line or an area plot. Again, this is a row count or order count, because to a certain extent you can say that each row represents one order also. So this tells us the number of orders they had, export orders, number of import orders. Let's run this one again. And now you can see we got rid of the export, the re-exports, re-imports. So good. So you can still see the good news is they're still exporting more than they imported, okay? So what's this here? Number of import exports by year. This is an area plot. Okay. Now let's just try something here. Let's get rid of this. Now, what this is actually I also load the interactive plotting tool, Plotly above. What ggplotly does is it converts a ggplot into a Plotly plot. Let's see if this actually works. No. Okay, good. That's okay. What this means is you can't just simply pass it through there. So let's name this. Yeah, we could. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I actually use that right here. Okay. Let's call this flow 1. So this creates a plot object, and this is going to convert it into a hopefully a reusable plot or an interactive plot. Let's see something. And there you can see it. So now we got a plot. So you can see up to you can see the sales basically peak back here on 2014 before declining for the next for the next, for 14 all the way down to, okay? Let's call this flow 2 then. What's this one here? This is, okay, so here we're doing a group by flow and date, all right? And actually, we're not going to pass this through. We're just going to go ahead and do it this way, I think. So here we're doing by flow and date, which of course we basically got the same thing up here, right? Then we're going to do a box plot of the import and exports by year. All right. So you can see that if you look at them as a box plot, you can see that there's not a lot of difference between, and that's kind of what we saw with the line plots above, or the bar plots above. The inputs, the import and exports are pretty even in some respects. Okay. I thought I wanted to do what about, of course, we shouldn't really, daggone, we shouldn't really use this as a box, as a histogram. That's what I was thinking about, as a histogram. So here's our histogram, okay? And you can see, again, this gives us a nice picture of, you know, of how the plots are working out and stuff like that, okay? Of how of the distribution of the facts. So, begin sales forecast. We're going to create a data frame called export USD. We're filtering on the data frame for export. Then we're doing a select date. Okay, this first one. Ew, do we want to do it by flow? Oh, jeez. Oh, why not? We don't have to necessarily use it, right? Yeah, it could, I guess. Oh, you mean simply extract the oh, okay. So you're saying ooh, we couldn't we? Sure, why not? Let's just see what happens here. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So let's just do df colon, right? And we should be able to say, use a lubricate function, right? Do a group only by year, all right? Okay, why isn't it working now? Something like that, right? Okay, so the first part ran. What about the second part? Oh, no wonder. It's got to be YR, right? Let's try this now. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so what was wrong here? I did it group by year. Hmm. Oh, I did, but I'm not really sure it's necessary, but let's do one anyway. That didn't work as planned, did it? Huh, interesting. Hmm, that's not quite what we were expecting, was it? Let's continue on down here. So come back down here to our histogram, right? And now we created our first data set for exports. Again, filter, select flow, this, group by date, and so forth. Let's take an export. Interesting. I thought I included a flow in there. Okay, good. I don't know, should we use like an ungroup here or something like that? I never quite understand what it means by group. So now we're going to do our forecast. First we create a date. First we convert this to a date, although it's probably already a date. The date should be, yeah. This is kind of redundant. We'll do it anyway in humor situation. Then we're going to convert it into a tibble, a time series tibble. Frequency 1 mean is for year. Fit the ARIMA model. I don't know what stepwise means. Supposedly it's supposed to give you more information. We're going to convert this. Then we're going to do a forecast for 5 years. Then we're going to do an auto on the model itself. Now, the question is this. Is this a good model or not? No, the question is this a useful model? So does this indicate? You notice there's a wide range in the confidence intervals. You notice that, of course, right? Because all I took was, what would happen if we didn't actually group it? Suppose we just took let's try this over here one more time. And remember our motto, of course, right? All models are wrong, but some are useful. So, and all we're going to do is we're not going to all right, let's call this I don't know. Okay. I mean, there's always ways to tweak our model, right? It's just that rather than grouping the numbers by year. Well, flow doesn't make any difference because we only don't export, you idiot. Ezo, Pete. Okay, so now we're just using the raw numbers total. So let's just run this first to see exactly what we're talking about here. So this is the export raw, and this contains all the rows with export, but no summaries, right? So let's try this. See if this gives us a better look. Oh no! TS must have more than one observation. Oh, good grief. Did I misspell something wrong here? Oh wait, we don't have sales, do we? You only have trade USD. Oh, okay. There we go. The total sales was the group by function. Okay. Now what? So far, so good. I'll be right back. I'm going to get me some more drink. Hold down the fort, as we say. Yeah, this model can take a few minutes to run because it's a pretty doggone big data set. Because what is it? Export raw is 3.2 million rows. Okay. While we're sitting here, let's just come back over here. take a look at time series decomposition, time series graphics, getting started. You know, I may have actually read part of this before. Hey, friend, how you doing? What should I call you? Cam? Kim? This is your first time, right? Well, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you taking time out for your hump day to come and visit me. Uh, yeah, Ian. Should I call you Ian? Is that what you're saying? Or I am the one? Okay. Anyway, uh, yeah. We're doing good. I'm here with Amy. We're doing some. Yeah, Ian. Yeah, I'm here doing some forecasting in R. The data set it's a commodity trade data set. It contains each row contains one. Oh, fantastic! Very nice. Be sure to mention my name to your friends, okay? And of course, as the scrolling banner says, do you see the scrolling banner at the bottom of the screen? Click on that like button for me and click on the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I go live, okay? Anyway, good. So have you so you've been following your videos from Cycle? Fantastic. Yeah. So have you completed the Google course yet? Yeah, but what you do, you have a pizza party and you invite 10 of your friends over to watch my live stream, and you all bring your computers and you all click like, you all watch, jump in the chat session, you all. Yeah, I mean there's some really good resources. There's an R for Data Science group on Slack. It's very good. Of course, I used to say your two best friends are Google and YouTube. Well, I now say your two best friends are ChatGPT and YouTube. Because I'll be doing some ChatGPT in a few moments to try some different modeling methods. Okay. So our data so far sort of looks like this. Okay. This is a row count. Each row represents an order, either an import or export. And so you can see the good news is our exports are still ahead of our imports. But you can also see the last 4 or 5 years, we saw a pretty large decline in the number of orders, okay? So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to forecast. I'm using a very simple forecast. I'm using the forecast package and the auto ARIMA function for the forecast. And the initial forecast up here was done where I just did a sum of the trade in U.S. dollars by year and did a forecast. Auto ARIMA. I basically got a straight line out. Now it's like I was trained to Amy here. It's the old saying in modeling statistics is all models are wrong, but some are useful. Okay, so that's the question. What's the first model actually useful? And can we do better? So we're going to be looking at anyway, if you're interested in forecast, let me just give you a quick link here. Okay, this is a book. It's mainly written about the Fable package. It's free online. And the second model I'm running is because I'm running against all the export records with no summary details. It's going to take a while to run this first thing here. Now one of the methods. Now we could sit here and look at this. And we really should, but we're not. The other thing kind of interesting I did up here, originally the flow column was import, export, re-import, and re-export. So with the help of ChatGPT, I used the FCT recode command, and I changed re-export to export, and re-import to import, okay? So now let's come down here. Just to remind ourselves. Now, I'll just mention, if you want to do something similar in Python, you can use a package called stats models, okay? Stats models. Univariate time series provides tools for modeling and forecasting univariate time, such as monthly, quarterly, multivariate, hierarchical. So let's find out. EST You know, and I have a fair amount of yes, yes. Supposedly that's correct. Yeah, yes. It's designed to fit into the tidyverse universe. Yeah, the tidyverse ecosystems. Okay, this is. Let's see something here. Right, right. So we use simple exponential smoothing, Hoyt linear exponential. This is an extension model. Yes, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. Hoyt linear exponential smoothing, Hoyt winter smooth. This is an extension of Hoyt's method that adds seasonal components, damped exponential smoothing state space. This is a more general form of exponential smoothing that allows for multiple smoothing parameters. Okay, so let's see if it'll give us a recommendation. Yes, that's correct. The TS Tibble package. Yes. So you can see that sales kind of from, what's the first date? 2006 to 2014, an increase. Let's just see if we can give it lots and lots of information. 2006. Now, from 2000, no, wait a second. This says 1990. And this says 2006. Am I missing something here? Correct. Yes. Okay. Let's do something up here. Let's look at the date functions. So because this is 1990. If this is 1990, then this one over here has to be before 9. No, it is correct. So that interactive plotly plot was kind of odd because it wasn't actually showing us the correct numbers, was it? Because this says night. Because it is. It's from. Well, I don't know. That's not right. Oh, I don't know. Let's come back down here, see what's going on. I know what we can do is, let's come back over here. Let's come back over to our good friend SQLite. Open up a database. Come over here and say, no. Unless of course there wasn't any exports during early. That's kind of strange. Yeah, no, you can see from 1988 up until around 2014. That can't be right. What? Hmm. Uh, what for? Why do I want to start from the year to start from 2006? Uh, if you look over here, here's all the exports. And the first export record is 1988. And the last one's 2016. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to give ChatGPT some more specific information about the data. Okay. See if it'll be able to use this information to pick an an EST model, ESE or EST, whatever it is, model from Fable. That's basically all I'm doing. Yeah, there really isn't, is there? This model may be appropriate if the time series shows a steady increase in cells over time, but no clear seasonality. This model assumes that the time series has an additive error and that there is an additive trend component. Okay. So obviously, we wanted to write the code for that, right? Of course, this model here running against the full data set has taken a few moments. I'll just mention, in case you came in late, is that I recently, last week, did some upgrades to my laptop. I switched to a 2 terabyte internal storage, and I upgraded from 16 to 32 gigabytes of RAM. And this data set is still taking a few months. This forecast has really taken a few minutes to run. Something just happened. Oh, we're getting close. Yeah, something just happened. Oh, well, that's a nice model. What? What does that mean? That's not even as good as the first one was. Oh, and one thing about Fable, you can actually run two models at the same time, and you can compare the two results. Kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, that's a big help. You call that a prediction? Let's see what these rascals came up with here. We don't have country. Who said we had country? Oh, jeez. Okay, we don't have a country. Well, that's one. Oh, here's the two models. So the first two error and trend are the same. I mean, there actually is a country or error, a country or area column. And if we run this, well, let's just run it as oh. Here, I'll go back and I'll show you the first model. This was done, yeah, this is what it is. And this was a table which contained one row for each year, okay? And it's all exports, all right? So the question is this model useful? Right, that's the measure of a model seems to be its usefulness, not necessarily its accurateness, how accurate it is, because we don't know what accuracy really means in this context. Because if you look at this, it means this is going to say that the sales forecast for the next 5 years is flat. It has declined, but this means it's flat. And let's comment out this one, since this one didn't do us any good at all. All right. Don't need Fable. Now we do, like I said, so should we run this against our, well, no, because I mean, we could use the, all right. So let's do this. Data. Let's start with the summary by country for year, okay? First of all, let's come back over here. Now, to me, now I'm slowly warming up to Python. Oh, I forgot to mention the biggest thing. I've been telling people that I've actually came over to the dark side, meaning that I'm running Anaconda Python distribution on a Linux virtual machine. I've been using that for a few things, and as in all cases, uh, okay. So we're going to create a little data frame here called summarize. So you might as well just do two things. And that's just for the fun of it. Let's just do right. So that means so since this is using data, okay, and this okay. Here's the trouble is, I don't think that can it be a key because it's not a unique value. Let's just see if this portion will run here. Country. Oh man, Dave. How's that? Okay, well that didn't work quite right, did it? What did I do wrong up here? Oh, I forgot to do a group by. All right. What do you mean? Oh wait, that's in the wrong spot, isn't it? The select statement. Okay, the index should be date. All right. Well, what do we want to do here? That's not right, is it? We want to produce select group by country, date, and USD. No, we don't want to group by date, by USD, Dave. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay. So now we should have one row for each year. Okay. And let's is it because so is it seeing this year as being a function? Is that what it is? Okay, let's come back down here then. What? Oh, okay. Oh, good job. Nice catch. Nice catch. Good job, man. I'm glad one of us is paying attention. Huh? There we go. What's this thing? Well, you've already got that. Oh, never mind. Okay, now for the big test. Now for the big test. We would actually be able to create a model. Oh, geez, object tray not found. No, it's called, what's it called? Total something? Total exports. How's that? Hasn't choked and died yet. And we are working with our summary data, right? 3,794 rows. Oh, what about the plotting? That's interesting. It didn't actually do any forecasting up here, did it? Huh. Oh, no. Oh, man. All the way down to here, then it choked on the Model 1. Oh, jeez, Dave. Implicit gaps in time. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would, because there's some countries that probably didn't have an export every year. Is that right? Hmm. Oh, no. We were so close to actually getting something done. Um, well, I mean, the summary function is pretty basic. Country, date, and so the problem is apparently not all the countries have the same number of entries. Let's just try something here. All right. Let's just do, let's look at data. Okay. Okay, and what we're going to look for. Well, that's not what I only wanted to. Oh, geez, oh, Pete. We were so close. We were so close to succeeding. Let's split this up also. Because we know this part up here ran. You know the database was computed correctly, right? And so what it's saying is some of the countries, okay, are missing years apparently. Should we read, oh man. So we have two options here. We could try to redo the ETS model without using the country or date, the country. Therefore, we'd only have one row for each year. Yeah. Well, there probably is. That's interesting. Hmm. So there's a fill gaps function. So how in the heck can it fill gaps? What does that mean? So that goes directly above the model. Can we just say fill gaps here? Well, it's thinking. Yeah, if we, yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying, it only takes 5 seconds for it to find an error, but 30 minutes for it to run all the way through. So, I should have asked it to create a model and make a forecast, because you notice that the code, original code did include the forecast in it. Yeah, you piece of crap. Well, let's come back over here then. Let's just try this. All right. Okay, this is where ChatGPT gets really fun, because you can sit here and basically go around and chase your tail in circles, trying to solve a problem, and you never actually get it. So let's give it another shot here. Because remember, the initial problem said there was gaps. Okay, there was gaps in the in the dates. So we used the fill function, fill gaps to supposedly fill in the gaps. So then maybe there's a so let's give ChatGPT one more chance with this. Then maybe we'll look for a different model. We can look for a model, but all we have to look for is just the date and the sales number. I tell you what, I think it's kind of funny sometimes. It'll say interesting. It didn't say that, did it? Okay, I'll bite. You know what it could be is that if this works, the problem could be that ChatGPT is using a slightly older documentation where the default was true. But the question is the model created by AutoRima, is that a useful model? That's the question. Yeah, so we still got the same error. So my guess is that this is probably the default. Okay, we've already tried this, and it didn't work. Right? We already tried that, and it didn't work. So let's just comment this out. And probably comment this one out also. Let's come down here. Let's create a new data frame. All we're going to do it is by date. All right. All right. And there's our export dates. 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. Okay. So, you know, one thing you get the one thing you don't get when you watch my videos is perfection. I mean, you can clearly see me suffering with this process here. Okay, just for the fun of it, let's just say let's just check our summer statistics. So again, you can see the dates, 1988 to 2016. Total exports, whatever this number is. There we go. So let's put this back up at the top. Can I display with commas? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, this is interesting. So you have to admit, this is some pretty spiffy bit of programming we're doing right here. Oh, now that's interesting. Boy, that's a whole lot of exports going on here, buddy. Wow. But how come this? That's interesting. Oh, look what it look what it did. It converted it to characters. Okay, well, so that that was a good idea while it lasted, but I think I'm going to pass on that then. Hmm. Wonder what those two numbers down there are for. Now these are some rather long numbers here, aren't they? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Well, you already tried ARIMA, right? Let's just see what happens with this. Where does it get this from? Let's just see what happens. Well, we're not making a lot of progress here, are we? We're not making a lot of progress here, are we? We've only got 29 years worth of data. Well, we could simply use, shoot. We could okay, what I forgot to mention is that originally there was only a year column. Okay, so there wasn't any dates we can work with. Okay, So I just did a quick function above to convert that year column into a date column. So every one is year dash 01 dash 01. So so in actual fact, we only have what, 29 records. Okay, 29 records, 29 years. Now we could try to just try something like this to give us a just to that's kind of strange. Yeah, see, so you basically have one row for each year. Okay, so there's no we got a record of 29 years. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Well, someone once said, once more once, right? So one of them, let's see, with only 20 rows of data, it may be challenging to fit complex time series models that requires a sufficient amount of data to identify and estimate the model parameters accurately. In general, simpler models may work better with smaller data sets as they have fewer parameters to estimate. One of the simplest and commonly used models for time series forecast is the exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothings are flexible and can handle various types of data, including data with trend and seasonality. The ETS model estimates three components of the time series: level, trend, and seasonality. You can actually display these things out. To fit you can use the ETS function in the Fable package, which implements a variety of things and others. For example, you can use this code to fit it. Well, let's see what happens, shall we? Or is the response variable the trade or the total exports? Is that the response variable? My guess is I probably need to have the response variable up there. That's where it's looking at, right? So would the response variable be total exports? Is that the response variable? No, total exports is a column. Okay, right. I'm wrong. Yeah, total exports is not a Okay, so I think this should be total exports. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three. I think I got an extra comma there. Now, oh, it looks like I'm missing a comma someplace. Well, this is a big help. Oh, geez. Well, the good news is at least the model ran. The bad news is it didn't return any values. Let's see. But what is the model itself? What does the forecast actually look like? Let's come down here. Let's come down here and do a summary instead. Well, oh, geez. I'm trying to think what data I used for the forecast. I suppose if the only model we can actually get the return results is the auto ARIMA, then that's the model we got. Uh, oh boy. I mean, we could try data with a more consistent time frame to it. Uh, what this is all about is a young lady from Tunisia named Reem Bakari. Bakari, I'm not sure what the O is. Bakuri, uh, was trying to do a class project, and she wanted different things. She wanted to do a forecast, okay, and I did one forecast. It turned out. Let's just take a brief break from Linux, and let's take a look at my virtual box over here. I'm running the latest stable version of Debian. It's called Bullseye inside an Oracle virtual machine, and I installed Anaconda, the Anaconda distribution, which is a Python distribution and an environment manager. And I got better. We take a look if this really is the same data. Well, we got better results with the auto ARIMA in Python than we did in no, that was different data, wasn't it? What were we using for that? I know what we were doing. We were using the data that has to do with emissions. So I was predicting emissions for the next 5 years in new cars. Yeah. And so there wasn't any gaps in the data. An Anaconda's package system is pretty nice. Although I had problems. Well, the problem I've had with Python, both Anaconda and regular Python, is trying to install the Prophet package. Okay. Do we have Prophet installed over here? What the heck? Let's throw caution to the wind. And try to use Prophet to do a prediction. Because I don't think Prophet really cares if it's in your data or not. Now, in all fairness, I haven't had a lot of work. Probably the most successful thing I forecasted with, at least in terms of its appearance, I've uh, that I've used done was just predicting sunspots, the solar cycle. Okay, so I clean this out, drop this down here. So let's just completely get rid of this. And we'll title this section So we basically got two models. It's kind of worked so far. We got the basic arena. Let's get rid of this also. No use keeping bad data around. We don't want people to see our failures, right? Oh, by the way, folks, if you're out there lurking in the background, hey, stop by the chat. Say hi to Amy. Say hi to Kamka or Ian. Say hi to Incan folks. Of course, as always, be sure to click that bell icon and the like button. I will mention I generally stream Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, although sometimes I do stuff in the afternoon. So if you click the bell icon every time I go live, you'll know that you can be the first to know, okay? So what we've been doing here often all evening is, with the help of these two people, is trying to predict exports in U.S. dollars over the next 5 years. This model, the only model so far we got to work was an auto-REMA model. I will remind you folks of the old adage, all models are wrong but some are useful. So the question always is this model useful? Okay. Is this model useful? Let's get rid of date. Let's go to country. Let's do a group. Well, we actually got that down here, so we might as well just go ahead and okay. Let's run this. So there's that. So we actually want to use here is, what do we actually want to use here? Let's try, what happened to total exports? Let's try export dates. This gives us one row for each year. So this is right. So what profit looks for? It looks for two columns. One named DS and the other named Y. And DS is always a date. Is always the date function, the date column, and the other is when it was. This is also the value you actually want to predict. Okay. No. Frequency. So I would say periods is 1. Okay, I don't understand why it's doing that. I don't know why that's there. It must be left, yeah, I don't know why that's there because we've already got a date function. That's really strange. No, we don't have to. We don't have to do this because it's actually is it because this is already done. Frequency is 1 for years, and years is 5. No, that's not total exports. That's should be export dates. Date is date, right? Oh, I apologize for the mistake. The profit function doesn't have a frequency argument. Instead, you can set the frequency of the time series using the DS column in the input data frame. Jeez, oh Pete. Well, you know what? What the heck? Let's just give it, no, because it's going to pull date. And date's going to already have a year on it, right? Well, let's just see what happens here. Yeah, but there, see, so this is actually right. It actually did correctly rename that. So this part actually ran, okay? All right. Well, we're not having a whole lot of success tonight, are we? Oh, good. Here's the corrected code. Make future date frame and predict. Okay. Yeah, you reached a point where it's like, I don't understand what's going on here. This is interesting. I have no idea what this is going to be about. I guess it kind of said, okay, this is like, okay, this is all I've got. This doesn't run, I don't know what we're going to do. And why is this showing up in this screwy color for? Okay, once again, we got something screwy going on here, don't we? There it is. Okay, well, I said let's go back and rewrite the whole code. Hey, and it rewrote the whole code. Here's our exports. Here's our profit setup. Here's our make profit. I guess it kind of said, okay, I've had enough of this stuff. Here's all the code from the very beginning. Knock yourself out. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to call it a night. Of course, I may call it a night anyway. Let's just see what happens here. And here's our components. Here's what's kind of strange, because our data actually goes like this. So this doesn't really look like a prediction. Periods. Okay. At least we got some results. Let's try it down here again now. Now what? Okay, so this has already been done, right? This is already done. Okay. Okay, so why doesn't this work then? Let's call this DF1 then. Or are we trying to use the, right, okay, let's come down here and say, well, I thought it did have that. Oh, my mistake. What are you talking about? Predict is not an exported object. You shouldn't have to do this. If we loaded if we loaded this, the library is already loaded. Okay. Okay. I don't think that should be plot.profit, because if anything, it should just be profit. So let's once again, I think what we're dealing with here is a so you see ggplots lab. Well, again, this is actually a gg2plot function, so we shouldn't even need that there. Okay, and we shouldn't need this. Because I actually asked the maintainer about, well, how can I add, ggplot2 function? He says, well, actually the plot function is ggplot2. The good news, we did get past the forecast, all right? Because this is kind of strange. How can you do a geom line with only one? only one thing. Okay, so let's just try this one here. Here's the thing. We got past the forecast. The trouble is just with the plot. So this is the actual data. Y is the so the Y is one of these numbers here. I think Y is this. I think X is because this is the actual data, okay? So if this is Y hat, then this should just be what? Okay. Okay, so I tell you what let's do. So we know that. So Y hat is the So what is it? Y hat is the actual prediction, right? Okay, good. So if we plot Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Not necessarily helpful, but it is kind of interesting. So let's do. Oh, I don't know. Right. So the actual data was up to 2016. So this is the apparent. Uh, okay. Now the frequency is not months. The frequency is year. And we want to do 5. Okay. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? Let's come back up here. Get rid of this. So let's try 10 periods. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's my conclusion. My conclusion is the best model we can get is the original Otto ARIMA model. Okay. Now, it is possible okay. Now, it could be possible to go with an ARIMA model and possibly get different results. Okay. But the problem is that we got missing dates. So that kind of makes it difficult to use the ETS method or EST method, whatever it is, exponential series time, whatever it is. Profit didn't seem to do much better. But it is kind of, well, yeah. Unless of course it would do better on well, with that, I'm going to call it a night. And with that, my dear friends, we'll see you tomorrow night, if not tomorrow afternoon. Like I always said, this is maybe actually call this, data science raw or something like that, because it's basically just there's no preparation. I'm clearly not, an advanced level data analyst, but we tried common things, and I mean, I hate to say this, but we could create a new date sequence for our numbers. I mean, if all through those forecasting, we could simply go, no problem. We'll just create a new date sequence for all the numbers out there. Okay, we'll just create a new date sequence for every single date out there. That way we will get a consistent date or something like that. But anyway, oh man, oh man, oh man. So just to summarize, the only model we got to work is the auto arima model. We tried Fables ETS, we tried Profit, and nothing seemed to work. Nothing seemed to work. So all right. And with that, my dear friends, I say good night. God bless.